stay the hell away from internet forums. Please, if you're going to follow somebody when it comes to steroid advice especially, or anything training related, go on YouTube. You're on YouTube watching me right now. Go on YouTube, look at the guy, see what he looks like. Is this the guy I want to follow? What's this guy preaching? Is it pure bodybuilding? Is it TRT? Is it longevity? Is it calisthenics? Is it, sprinting? Is he a football? Whatever he is, look at somebody visually. Does this the guy I want to follow? Yes, no. Very simple. It's very easy. If he's a nerd, geeky bodybuilder, you want to be a nerd, geeky bodybuilder, go follow that guy. If you want to be jacked, in shape, at almost 40 years old, taking very minimal TRT, living your kind of good life. I'm not going to say best life, but you know what I'm trying to say. Living a decent life, going out, eating what you want to do, not counting calories, not eating out of containers, not having to miss birthday parties and events and that kind of stuff. Follow me. It's very simple. But stay the hell away from internet forums. And I'll tell you why. Because you do not know who's behind on the screen. And majority of the times, these guys don't even have the profile pictures. I mean, when I make a post sometimes, or make a reel and I put it on Facebook especially, and Instagram, I have guys in my, comment section. I was going to say DM. I get guys in my DM schooling me as well. And I'm thinking, you're here schooling me about something that I said, but I can't see who you are. At least reveal yourself before trying to school me, bro. You could be sat in your mum's basement. How the hell do I know who you are? You probably just signed up to a couple of internet forums and now you're regurgitating that bullshit you read off those forums to tell me, to school me. People school me. I mean, I put a video of my biceps up the other day, right? Doing preacher curls like this. Not going all the way down. You should go all the way down in length and stay. I'm thinking, bro, why should I do that? And okay, if I should be listening to you and I should take your advice because I'm a very polite guy. If you saw me in person, very, polite person. Even if you look like shit and you came up to me in the gym and said, Fadi, or whatever, bro, go all the way down when you're doing them and you were a skinny piece of shit. I'd be like, okay, mate, thank you very much. I wouldn't be rude to you, bro. I would take your advice. I would listen. And I would say, you know what? In my head, I have done that. I have been the idiot that went all the way down thinking I was going to lengthen my bicep and then shorten. I thought I was going to do that. I tried it. Tendonitis after tendonitis after tendonitis. See, it gets repaired. Tendonitis again. Gets repaired. Bro, surely there's got to be an end to this. Why am I keep getting tendonitis? Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. How about I don't go all the way down and I just work from that range? My biceps still look full. That's genetics. So don't need to go all the way down and up in certain ranges of motions. I know that from tried and tested. If you saw me in the gym and you looked at me and thought, I reckon in this gym, anywhere in the world, I'll be in the top. Unless it's a pro bodybuilding gym, I'll still be at the top. Pro bodybuilders will still look at me and say, you're the guy who's got a good physique. I train at Muscle Factory right now. Some of the top physiques in the world, I don't want to mention his, I will mention his name, Joe Linder, who just passed away. I could take my top off next to him, bro. How many of you guys can do that? How many of you guys schooling me can take your top off next to Joe Linder, Joe Aesthetics, and stand next to him? How many of you could do that? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the pictures on the screen right now. You'll be able to see the pictures on the screen. How many of you can stand next to him? I'm not bragging here. I'm not bragging. My point I'm trying to say is, would you go to him in the gym and say, bro, you're doing this wrong? No, you wouldn't. And would you come to me in the gym and say, bro, you're doing this wrong? No, you wouldn't. It doesn't happen. It's never happened. Ever have I been into the gym. The best gyms in the world, Oxygen Gym in Kuwait, all of the 4 of them. I've trained at every single one of them. No one came up to me and said, Fadi, you're training wrong. Gold's Gym LA, no one came up to me. I was in the Gold's in Las Vegas, no one came up to me. New York, no one came up to me. Miami, no one came up to me. Muscle Factory, no one came up to me. Gyms in the UK, all over. I've been to every top gym in the UK. Nobody's ever come up to me and said, Fadi, you're doing this wrong. Do you know why? Because I look like I'm doing it right. Do you get the point? And when people see me, they think, maybe he's doing it right because we don't look like that. And the guys that do look better than me or bigger than me, they're on a different journey, bro. They understand, they're smart enough, they're educated enough in this game to understand that we know what he's doing. He's not on our game. We're on the game. We're trying to be Mr. Olympia. We're trying to be big and jacked. We know what he's doing. And what he's doing is called longevity. He's being smart about it because he wants to do this for a long time. We know that because we've tried and tested it. So they never come up to me. But here's the dangerous thing about the forums. Even though people can see me, maybe the camera might catch me at a bad angle. Oh, your legs look small. Or the camera might say, oh, but you've got no triceps. I don't give a shit, bro, about looking good on camera. I don't care. Come and see me when I'm taking a stroll down the beach every single day and see if you're going to give me advice. You're not going to give me advice. You're not going to walk up to me and give me advice. Trust me, I know that because it's never happened to me, bro. It's never, ever happened to me. Look, you guys might be good at what you do, and I'm not going to come and give you advice. Just like in this game, I'm good at what I do. Like I said, I can stand toe-to-toe with the best in the world, my size. I'm not a competitive bodybuilder, and I know what these guys do to get there. We discuss cycles, and everyone's taking more than me. We discuss food. Everybody's eating more food than me. We discuss how hard we train. Everybody's training hard. Everyone's training harder than me. And yes, I know it's genetics. I know there's certain things about my genetics. I don't have to eat much. I don't have to train that hard to maintain it. But I've also been doing this for 25 years. So maybe you guys should pay attention and listen. Now, I'm not hating on everybody here when I say this. I'm just saying the reason, sorry, getting a bit long-winded. This wasn't a brag video about me. This isn't the Fatty Show. Well, technically it is, but this isn't a brag about me. The point I'm trying to say is this. Take advice from people who you look at and you think, I want to look like that guy. It might not be me. It might be somebody else. Just take advice from that person. Do not then start to get in that guy's comment section and tell this guy how to do shit. You are in his comments, bro. He's not in your comment section. And that's the issue with forums. First of all, if you use forums in this day and age, you're an absolute idiot. Because the game's changed. Times have moved on. Hire a coach. I wish I could hire somebody I wanted to be like back in the days. And there's many people I wanted to be like in the physique game. Couldn't hire him. I like Kevin Levron. He quit training for 6 months, looked in phenomenal shape. I wanted to know what he was eating, how he was doing his cardio, what kind of training he was doing. I could not access him. I had zero access to him. Only time I could do was meet him at an expo and say, Kevin, what are you eating now? What's your cardio like? And they would quickly get in as many questions as I could. And credit to the guy, he stood there and spoke to me for about a good 5 minutes. Well, there was a big line. And yeah, I should have been asking that many questions, but he was answering them. And we spoke. He was a guy I would have paid back in the days if he was offering this service. But right now, every single person out there watching this, who they want to aspire to look like or live their life like, physically for maintenance and health reasons, they can pick out that person and find him now. You're so lucky. I'm lucky. I can look at someone now who's 70 years old and say, what's this guy? I want to know what he's doing. I can contact him and say, right, do you do coaching? Yes, of course I do coaching, sir. No problem. How much is it? This much. Okay, book me 5 sessions. Done. I can do it. You guys can do it as well. You've got access to it. So stay the hell away from forums. But don't stop commenting and telling me what to do, because I like it, I enjoy it, and it helps the algorithm. So please, I know no one watching me is going to be stupid enough to comment, but those people that comment in my videos when I'm showing some instructionals for the videos or training, or I said to somebody, I'll tell you, in fact, do you know what, how long is this video getting? Right, it's getting a bit too long, but right, listen, I'm going to just talk one thing quickly. The other day, I put a video and I said, sorry about that, I'm going to do my best at editing this bit out. If you're wondering what's going on, I just had my camera overheat on me. I've just bought a brand new camera, it's overheated, but I've Googled it, YouTubed it, fixed the issue, we're back on track. So I was saying, I just replayed the last little 10 seconds. I was talking about a guy who made a comment about my reel today. My reel today was about shrinking stomach. Number one thing for fat loss to do is to shrink your stomach. If you can physically shrink your stomach, then what happens is you get fuller quicker. If you get fuller quicker, you're eating less food. Very simple, you will burn a lot more fat that way, or at least you won't add on fat. And one of the procedures, I think they call it a gastric band, is when they staple your stomach smaller, so then you get fuller quicker, even though they still eat shit. And they haven't learned the actual principles of it. I can do that naturally, and you guys know, if you're my clients, you know that's exactly what happens. So this guy began to argue with me in the comment section. He was in no shape or form to argue with me. He wasn't a poster of health himself. I, on the other hand, am not being big-headed, I just am. This is my field, this is what I'm going to explain. If you want to talk about cars, if you want to talk about building houses, you want to talk about lighting, if you want to talk about cameras, I'm not an expert. But this field, I am an expert, okay? So yes, it's not a brag, I'm just talking common, you know, I'm just talking what you can see basically. So this guy said, you can't shrink your stomach. And I says, you can't shrink your stomach. What do you mean you can't shrink? He went, how did you know that the stomach shrank? And I went, well, because they're eating. A guy who had 4 pizzas before, he's now full after half a pizza. Meaning his stomach is shrunk. He physically could not eat more. And he's like, well, how do you know? Did you weigh the stomach? Did you measure the stomach? I'm like, well, yeah. And he went, how can you measure your stomach? I'm like, well, it's easy. Imagine a guy is this fat, okay? So imagine a guy is this fat. And you look at a plate, and you've seen those food challenges where you look at a mountain of food and it looks around this big, yeah? Massive mountain of food. Now that can fit into that. It's obvious, isn't it? So that can fit into that. Now, if your stomach has gone this small and you look at that mountain of food, it can't fit into that, can it? Surely that makes sense. That cannot fit into that. So what happens? If your stomach was this big and now it's this big, do you have to measure it from the inside? Do you have to know how volume it is inside? No, you can visually see it. And the guy can feel it when he's eating. He's like, yo, I'm done, I'm full, I can't eat no more. Then I gave him another example, and he actually tried to be a smart ass, saying, you can't shrink organs. Okay, well, the skin is the largest organ and you can shrink it because look at pregnant women. Pregnant women get fat, like not fat, the skin stretches out, and then all of a sudden the skin goes tight again, shrink wrap tight. How does that happen? Because it can stretch and it can go back to normal. Very simple. There's also people out there who get really, really fat, and they get so fat and they stay fat for so long that when they come back, the skin doesn't stretch back. It does hang over. In that case, you have to get it surgically removed. The stomach, yes, that can happen to the stomach to a certain degree, but it can always come back because you can program it and you can train it to get smaller. I don't need to know the facts. I don't care if someone puts up a scientific study here. I don't give a shit, bro. The facts I'm looking at is my clients who used to eat like pigs are now eating like mice and healthy and full, and they can eat what they want till they're satisfied and they're full. What's more better than that? Imagine eating anything you want as a cheat meal, being full and not having any issues afterwards. You're done. Cheat meal, done. What can I have, Faddy? As much as you want. Eat whatever you want. You guys know this. When people say to me, what I'm allowed on my cheat meal, and I'm like, what do you normally have? People say 4 pizzas. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and have 4 pizzas. In my head, I know he ain't going to eat 4 pizzas, and I know what's coming on Monday morning, what text message is coming Monday morning. Bro, I ordered the 4 piece. I was only able to eat 2 slices. Yes, I know, because I'm an expert, bro. Anyway, point is, this video, and I'm going to take my phone out now because I actually forgot what this video was going to be titled. So just bear with me a second. Make it. And this is probably the worst video that I've ever chopped together. But hopefully there's some value in this. And while I'm doing this, like and subscribe. That's what you guys should be doing while I'm figuring out exactly what this video was called. Yeah, this video was about steroid forums. So steroid forums, stop listening to the skinny geeks or the fat guys out there or people who abuse the hell out of steroids. I hate it when people, especially in my comment section, someone asks me a question and they feel the need to give that person advice. And I just think, well, they haven't asked you, bro. But if you want to, go ahead, go for it, go for it. It builds algorithm. Go ahead, keep doing it. But look, the guys that are asking for the advice, ask who you want for you. You can ask me, you can ask anybody you want for advice. Look at the person. Is that the person you want to be taking advice from? If it's not, do not even look at the advice. There's so much information out there when it comes to being healthy that I don't even look at because I don't think it's coming from a credible source. Trust me, honestly, that's the, call it whatever you want, but that is the honest God's truth. That is reality. If it doesn't come from a credible source, if it doesn't come from someone who I feel is in shape, it doesn't come from someone who I feel has knowledge in this field or experience or wisdom, it doesn't have to necessarily look good. You could be a 75-year-old guy who's wise. You can rush education, but you can't rush wisdom. Anyway, comment down below. Please like and subscribe.